In a year of momentous happenings, 1997 was a year of justice, mourning and technology. France's Jacques-Yves Cousteau, who had revealed to the world the mysteries of the ocean's depths, was laid to rest on land rather than buried at sea in the Navy tradition, according to his widow Francine.
I think he has obliged people to open their eyes on very simple and important things. And he expressed that in such a way that everybody could understand it, from the taxi driver to the head of state.
On the 31st of August 1997, the English Rose, Princess Diana, died tragically after a car crash in the Pont de l'Alma road tunnel in Paris. Short time later in India, the death of Mother Teresa provoked an outpouring of tributes from a world still reeling from Princess Diana's sudden death.
With the passing of Mother Teresa, the world has lost one of the giants of our time. She served the poor, the suffering, and the dying. And in so doing, she served as an inspiration and a challenge to all the rest of us. With the power of her humble and unconquerable faith, she touched the lives of millions of people in India, here in the United States, and throughout the world.
In Paris, self-proclaimed professional revolutionary Carlos the Jackal was brought to trial for the 1975 killing in Paris of 2 French secret agents and a Lebanese informer. Carlos, who had been linked to some of the most spectacular guerrilla acts of the 1970s, was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment. In space, the orbiting Russian Mir station suffered from the effects of a fire and a collision, whilst the brightest comet event in history graced our skies. Comet Hale-Bopp was the most widely observed comet of the 20th century and one of the brightest seen for many decades. It was visible to the naked eye for a record 18 months, twice as long as the previous record holder, the Great Comet of 1811. The passage of Hale-Bopp was notable also for inciting a degree of panic about comets not seen for decades. Rumours that the comet was being followed by an alien spacecraft gained remarkable currency and inspired a mass suicide among followers of a cult named Heaven's Gate. In what seemed to be an end to the Russian-Chechnya conflict, Chechnya's first post-war president, Alan Maskhadov, took office, pledging to realize the dream of independence from Russia. Maskhadov, a former Soviet artillery colonel who led separatist rebels against Russian troops sent to crush them in December 1994, also promised to strengthen the Muslim religion and fight a crime wave in the shattered region. Behind him, on the stage of the suburban assembly hall, stood leaders of the rebel force, which humiliated the Russian military during the 21-month conflict. When Maskhadov had finished his inauguration speech, hundreds of men fired their Kalashnikov rifles into the air. Maskhadov promised to bring the various armed groups in the region into line and to protect Chechnya's Russian population. The world's best chess player and the most powerful chess-playing machine at the time were set to resume their historic battle in a rematch between brain cell and computer chip. The game was between Grandmaster Garry Kasparov, the 34-year-old Russian who had been the world chess champion since 1985, and IBM supercomputer Deep Blue. It was one of the most eagerly anticipated rematches ever. The rivalry had begun 15 months earlier in Philadelphia, when Kasparov defeated the machine over 6 games after a stunning loss in the first. Kasparov thought Deep Blue would be tough to beat, but he was confident that he would win. The winner was to receive $700,000, the loser $400,000. The updated version of Deep Blue defeated Kasparov 3.5 to 2.5 in the highly publicized 6-game match. The match was even after 5 games, but Kasparov was crushed in Game 6. This was the first time a computer had ever defeated a world champion in match play. 1997, a year that saw advancements in computer technology and the passing of much-loved lives, was truly a year of momentous happenings.